Kiana Sage here from Being in Sync 366 video series. Today's topic, all by myself here, waiting for other people to join on. Today's topic is, as always, important to our alignment within, our inner congruence. I help people lead them back to peace through the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual alignments. This is what creates congruency, and anything that is out of alignment is called incongruence, right? Out of alignment, incongruence makes sense. Hello, good to see you here. Momin, all right. I'm just going to wait for a few more people to join us before I get started with today's content. Talking about friends and alignment today. That is the topic. So, today's also the topic we're talking about, the laws of cause and effect. The laws of cause and effect, our thoughts, our emotions, our behaviors, they all have alignment. Expect who I am. Who? What does that mean? Well, usually there's people joining in by now. Give it a couple more minutes. Or it just might be. You're Nick. Oh, Nick. Did you change your name? Different YouTube channel. I see. Okay. Well, thanks for coming back, Nick. Maybe today's topic is about friends and alignment. Is that interesting? Oh, this is my real one. Okay, well, thanks for being here. Hi. Okay, y'all, just waiting for people to start to join in. So today we're talking about the laws of cause and effect, and we're talking about friendships and alignment. So let's just go with the laws of cause and effect. First of all, that there is always an account for your actions, right? So with your friendships, just know that their cause and effect, your power, your point of power is always going to be in your conscious choice. So whether you are consciously choosing to suppress and limit yourself, or consciously choosing to share your heart with your whomever, that will determine your alignment with the natural laws. Everything that we talk about on here is about the natural laws and being in alignment with physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. So when I'm talking about friendships today, I wanted to share what I think would be most helpful, right? Because we all know that friendships exist, but we all have different experiences of friendships, right? Some of us have had some really tough lessons with some of our friendships. Maybe we've been betrayed, or maybe, we get challenged by our friendships and we just really do not know how to ascertain our relationships. So let me just say, I think that I'm going to talk about 5 aspects. 3, I think, are what I'm calling warnings, and 2 are what I'm calling truths about friendships. So you can take whatever resonates with you and leave the rest behind, because most people have this false idea that it's been really popular to tell this to people, that you are like the people you surround yourself with. And I don't think that's true when you are in alignment with conscious choice. Because when you are conscious, you have an awareness of people being in alignment with things that are misaligned, right? So that doesn't mean if your friends are misaligned, then you're misaligned. It just means that you have an agreement with people. So we are always in agreement in our friendships. So we want to look at how are we in agreement with what's happening within our friendships. So here is the first of the 3 warnings. First is false advertising. Many people wear masks. You might even be one of them. You wear masks, and these masks are false identities, meaning that you pretend to be emotionally balanced when you're anxious inside, for example, or you pretend to be something that you're not. So that would be false advertising. So I want you to be aware that people do this, and your friends might be doing this, and how is that in alignment with who you want to be? So you want to look at warning signs as like a red flag. So false advertising. What friends do you have that maybe are false advertising to you, and they can't be their full authentic self with you? Okay. And then there are friends, warning number 2, who will say one thing and do another. That is incongruence in its most explicit way. They talk a good game, but they do something different. This is incongruence. This is what many people run into when they're having problems with their friends. It's like, well, she said she was going to do this and she didn't do it. Or he said he was going to come over and help, but then he didn't. So this is something to be aware of and kind of see it as a red flag. And I know that we all have a different languaging in which we might describe these experiences. So use a language that is best for you. But saying one thing and doing another is, yeah, you're saying a hypocritical personality, Nick. But really, we don't want to judge them. We just want to notice the behavior, right? Because our awareness is what makes us stronger, so we can make conscious choices. And then this is the 3rd warning. And I saw this happen yesterday with a friend of a friend. And I thought it was so interesting. And the truth will ignite the ego defenses. So if you are speaking your truth, and my truth is based on my experience and my perception. I'm not looking for other people to go into alignment with it. I'm just simply stating that this is my truth, and you state that, and then the other person hears your truth and says, you know, I feel something, then they almost like gaslight you because they are in an ego defense mechanism. So know that oftentimes the truth will ignite the ego defenses. So those are my first 3 warnings. And then the other 2 things I think are truths about friendships. And I hope you all can hear me fine here. Acceptance. The truth is if you have friends that are in alignment with you, pure alignment, they will accept you. Good, bad, ugly, there's absolutely no judgment. You could be your full, authentic self, crying, laughing, loving. You might criticize, and they could tell you, hey, you're being critical, and they can give you feedback on that. There's just acceptance. They're not giving you judgment. They're just accepting you for who you are. And then the second truth I will say is that real friends open your heart with courage. Real friends will open your heart with their courage to be their most authentic self, with their courage to be in the truth, with their courage to share ideas that are maybe unconventional and not very common. But true friendship will really allow you to be yourself fully and to come into a new way of expressing yourself. Because, real friendship helps you to express yourself where you might have felt insecure with one person, you might feel totally at peace with another. So friendships really are about the different types of agreements that we go into. Agreements are our alignment. Doesn't mean that you like everything that you're aligned to, but you must be willing to see your experience and witness it so you can adjust and change. Now, I can go on and on about how my friends have taught me things that I never wanted to learn. Some of my toughest and biggest soul lessons came from friendships. Friendships that weren't really friends, that had I realized the false warnings, had somebody given me the warnings, I'm not so sure I would have adhered to it, but at least I would have had an inkling. Nobody talks about these things, is my experience. Nobody really talks about it. They talk about you are like the friends that you spend your time around. And I just do not buy into that BS. I do not think that's true because there's a lot of people that are emotionally unstable. Okay? Does that make me emotionally unstable? No, it does not. We are not like the people we are around. We are like our conscious choices. So going back to the natural laws and the law of cause and effect, our power, our point of power is in our awareness and our conscious choices. Okay? So, curious, what questions, let me see what questions you have. Let's see, any questions about this topic? Good to see some new people here. Hello. Silence, it's been a while. Welcome back. Thank you for the artwork comment. Hypocritical personality. There's a lot of people, in my experience in consulting, I have met some very angry people that didn't know they were angry. So when you say hypocritical, most people just don't know how they are being. And so as a consultant, my job is to share with them how I'm receiving them. And when I have somebody that's very angry and I don't speak to the anger, then I'm not really being honest. But I have spoken to clients who have been very hostile and they were angry, but at the root of the anger was just sadness. And they just needed somebody to see them, to witness them, and to not judge them. And that's part of what alignment to peace is that you are accepting people on their journey to becoming, as we evolve. Okay, y'all, hold on a second. I got to get something here. Okay, sorry about that. I had something not cooking. Okay, notice the emotion behind their action. Well, a lot of people, mind, soul, journey. I love that name, mind and soul journey, because it's all about how we are connected. Beautiful name, I love it. Notice the emotion behind their action. But a lot of people have what I would call limited expression of emotion. Right? Limited expression. And that means oftentimes that they might be stuck with their ability to emote. And so therefore they might be perceived as disconnected, right? Or dry, or what's the word? Bitchy is a word that they use for women a lot. If she's not emotional and she's dry, she might be unkind and bitchy. That's a word that they use for women a lot. And it's not necessarily true. It might just mean that they have had experiences where expression is not valued. And yes, to be in experience, you don't want to judge them. You want to be compassionate. But look, be honest. Most of us on this journey are learning to go into acceptance, and judging is how people use what they think is critical thinking. Judging isn't critical thinking, it's judging. It's ego imbalance, right? So mind and soul, you know that. You know that, I think. Make them feel comfortable to share their feelings so that they don't suppress. My job is just to hold space. I really see holding space for people as a real loving act. And I agree with you. But, that doesn't mean I don't have my own experience in the moment. So, when I'm working and when I'm in a friendship, it's different, because when I'm more authorized in friendship to have my exchange, and I'm having an experience, you're having an experience. When I'm consulting, I'm having an experience in relationship to where you're looking to grow. It's different. Mind and Soul Journey is saying gaslighting is a suppression of bottled up emotions. I would suggest something different, which is that it's not only bottled up emotions. I would say it's oppressed or suppressed emotions, and it's an imbalance of the ego. Cognitive biosis. I don't know. Biosis, is that something? I often have people try to diagnose on here. It's interesting to me. Tanny is having a real experience about real friends destroy your life. We get teachers and we go into agreement with some painful things if we do not know what we're in alignment to. So destroy your life, but oftentimes what is broken can be rebuilt better. And so sometimes people need their house to be brought down, meaning their entire life existence as they know it to be, which is what happened to me. Everything that I knew, all the illusions that I had about friendships, family, everything just kind of came down all at once. Now, is that an easy thing? No. Is that something most people would choose? No. Is there learning in that? Yes. And I say get all of the learning. Hello, Mohammed. Good to see you here. It's important to check in with each other so both people feel valued and supported. Mind and soul, it's like, but not everybody is on the consciousness journey. So mind and soul, I think that you would probably have this experience. I can't be unique in it. Like, all of my friends do not play in this world, in this realm of consciousness. They don't even care about the natural laws. They don't even know what the natural laws are. It's not their forte. They're totally into 3D physical world of, he likes me or he doesn't like me. My boss is a jerk, that kind of thing. Not everybody is into checking in and being real. So you have friends that are different for different things, right? Mohammed, I don't know. This is not a place to get funds. When life gets busy or stressful, it's easy to forget to talk about feelings. I don't know. I'm mind and soul. You must just have a unique circle of friends. I would say I have a preferred circle of friends. Like, I don't go out to eat with all of my friends. Some I just like to have tea with, and some I just like to hang out with, and I don't want to eat with them at all. I think it's very interesting, the different kinds of friendships that people have. Again, agreement. It goes to agreement. Just looking. Hey, Mick, good to see you. I don't be around anyone really anymore. I can't find the right friends. See, Mick, so you understand what I'm talking about. Like, consciousness is not going to be with everybody. So you can't have real conversations with everybody. And sometimes I'll go out with some of my husband's friends and I'll just find things to compliment them on. And how can I encourage them and support them? And I'll listen to them, but I don't contribute. I don't share about me because I don't like to talk about fake things. And that's what a lot of people like to talk about. So Mick, you probably know about that. Okay, Mohammed, you keep on asking for money, so I'm going to have to put you in a timeout. Sometimes problems like money or family issues come up, making it hard to share feelings. They might focus more on solving problems instead of talking about how they feel. You know, mind and soul, it sounds like you really are into the feelings, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So maybe it would be helpful for you to talk about your feelings. Talia's asking, can you please elaborate on my job? I do what's called energy psychology. So I help people who have repeating patterns and who want to expand in, let's just say, life alignment. So like physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, that they want to be more aligned in their life. That's where I help people. And I guide them to peace in that way. So they have total alignment in all aspects of their life. If they want to get a promotion, if they want to start a new life, if they want to start a new job, if they want to just have a better marriage, it just depends. Everybody comes for different reasons. Okay. I'm absolutely not a lawyer. Well, unfortunately, we do not have a moderator today. When two people first like each other, they talk a lot about their feelings, hopes, dreams. It's like being an exciting adventure. It really is interesting, right? I had somebody reach out to me this week that I knew in corporate field, but hadn't really had the opportunity to develop a friendship. And so now we're reconnecting, and I think it's been over probably 10 years since we've connected. And it really is exciting to connect with people, 100%. Connect with people who are accepting of one another. And that's really is like an adventure of the soul, right? That's what our friends are. Timothy is saying lack of empathy. I don't know what you mean about that. Listen to the emotions behind the words, but it's different when you are socially selected introverts. Well, I would say, Cameron, believe it or not, I'm an introvert. An introvert is just really a preference, right? People that feed on other people's energy and the vibration of the experience, that's extrovert. Introverts just kind of like to observe and keep to themselves and maybe talk to one or two people. I would say I'm an introvert for sure, but I could do the extrovert thing. And in fact, oftentimes my job requires, especially when I'm doing speaking engagements or something like that, and I'm forced to be talking to people I wouldn't normally talk to. But that doesn't mean that I can't do it. So I think it's important to what you're saying, Cameron. Listen beyond the words, and which goes back to the incongruence. When people say one thing and do another, that requires a listening of a different sense. Totally agree with you. We do not diagnose people on here. So if you're saying people are something that they're not, you will be removed. This is not a space where people diagnose other people. Momen is saying, judging persons is negative. Judging situations is positive. Well, I think it's important to do an assessment. And oftentimes people's assessments are done through positive and negative, like and dislike. Most people don't live their lives in neutrality. So that's not a bad thing, it's just an awareness thing. But understanding that this feels like it resonates and this doesn't, that's not a like or a dislike. It's not a negative or positive. It's just a resonance. So that's what the language I tend to use, like, oh, that doesn't really resonate for me. All in One is saying, what is my philosophy about life? That's an interesting question. Nobody has ever asked me about that. My philosophy about life is God is in everything and everything is of God. That would be probably a philosophy that I operate off of. I operate off of the natural laws, which are all in alignment with creation. And I believe that we are here to grow and expand in conscious awareness. And we have experiences that are often painful that we need to learn from so we can grow and expand in consciousness in our direct connection with creation. So that's my philosophy in a nutshell. Nish, I'm so sorry that you're sad today. Cameron, yes, I do. I have different friends. Like, I have different friends that I will talk to about different things and connect with. Really, all my friends, and I stopped having group birthday dinners because they were just too different. They were like worlds colliding that didn't really make any sense. And the conversations, although it was, it ended up being an okay dinner, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy having all my friends that didn't have anything in common except for me at a meal. So yeah, I keep my friends. Do I keep them separate on purpose? I just enjoy them more on their own than as a collective. And so all my friends, I don't have a group of friends that have anything really in common other than me. So yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm watching football or soccer or sports. I don't have friends that I do those things with, and I never have. Nish, what are you sad about? I am a very specific lady. Like I said, my friends are all preferences. There are people I prefer to be around. They're not always, I don't even know what to say. I think my situation's unique. I'm my authentic self with all of my friends, regardless of what they believe. They know what I believe. And whether they are in agreement with what I believe or not doesn't matter. I am a specific lady. I'm just looking. All right, South Africa. Okay, thank you. Kripsha is saying, how do I become focused? Start eliminating your distractions. I mean, it's really pretty simple. Your focus is going to be determined by your clarity, and your clarity is going to often be determined by your distractions. So get rid of distractions and get clear, and make sure that whatever you're getting clear on is crystal clear. Like for the most part, when people have goals, they're not clear. If I have a client that wants to get a promotion, usually even their clarity around what kind of promotion they want is very vague. So get crystal clear. How can introverts start a conversation? I think it's important to have a list of questions. Make a list of questions that you would be interested in learning about, regardless who the person is. And have like 3 to 5 questions. Just make a note in your phone and have 3 to 5 questions that are topics that, regardless of who the person is, you would be interested in that topic, and start asking those questions. I'm an introvert for sure. I'm always awkward around others. I'm only an extrovert around people I know and trust. Rachel, that sounds like a great way to be, to know who you could be around. I remember I had what I thought was a really good friend. This is going back many, many years, maybe 20 years. And I kind of knew that there was a problem in our friendship, but I didn't realize the problem of the friendship until one night we went out drinking, and she chose that time to share the issue. So when she knew I was weak is when she brought up a work issue in my private time. And I was like, okay, this girl is crazy. And that was pretty much the end of our friendship. Like that. We were good friends, and now we're not good friends. But I think it's important to understand, how people operate. Like that girl needed me to be really vulnerable for her to be strong. So she could be stronger than me. And because she knew if I had all my wits about me, I could have a more intelligent conversation, and I could be more balanced in my approach to what she was saying. But she didn't do that. So people who are weak will try to make you weaker. I lost, you say you believe in the laws, so you believe in the law of attraction. I already talked about the laws. Yes, Cameron, we talked about the law of correspondence, which is also the law of attraction. But it's important for you all to understand that these laws are not independent. They work in unification. So it's important to understand all of the laws and how they go together. That's why every week I'm talking about one law, and I've already talked about the law of correspondence, which is more commonly known as the law of attraction. Upcycled, good to see you here. Friendly face. I'm not a good Spanish speaker. In the last few years, I don't feel like I have any friends left. Everybody is just busy in their lives. Friendships definitely change as you get older, Upcycled. I don't know how old you are, and I don't know that it matters, but I definitely believe that there's an ebb and a flow to friendship. So like when you're younger, you're really not as discerning, you're really not as picky, it's more based on commonality, less on values. And then as you get older, I find that your values and alignment really become more important. And of course, if you want to be more successful, you want to have people who are in alignment, right? And you want to learn from your friends. So you're not alone in that upcycled. Like I said, I have a group of preferred friends. And they're all very different. I'm from Ash is saying I'm from a small town in India. Okay. Okay, definitely you could see I don't have a admin today helping me in the chat, so I'm just looking for questions that are relevant to the topic. And if there's no relevant questions, I'm going to get off of here and I'll be back tomorrow. I am more educated and knowledgeable than my surrounding neighbors, but I can't influence or control them. But they overpower my thoughts always. I am an introvert. Please help me. Well, it's not about being more educated or knowledgeable. It's about understanding and having awareness of the people that you've gone into agreement with. Okay? So understand what the agreements are. So if you're having an experience that you don't prefer, you want to have awareness of what you're in alignment with. So you have this perception that they're overpowering you. So where is your power then in relationship to these people? What happens? You can't be overpowered unless you're giving your power to them. So you have an agreement with them to give them your power. So what you want to do is really stay in your heart when you're with them and knowing, consciously choosing to be in your power and see how that goes. Mick is saying, it's hard to start chatting with other people. It's weird, even though I'm pretty reserved until I get to know someone, but I can break bread with all people. Well, Mick, I mentioned on here having a list of questions. So you're probably like me, Mick, and that you like to have meaningful conversation. You don't like to have chit-chat, small talk. But that small talk is how most people kind of feel you out. So just have a list of questions that you think would be interesting for you to learn about other people. And then it doesn't have to be weird. It's only weird because you're not sure what to talk about. But when you're talking about something meaningful, you know what to talk about. So what would be a meaningful question that you can ask somebody that would break the bread? Like for me, I think colors are fun. Like, what's your favorite color? And I like to interpret what that means. Now, do I ask them what that means? No, but I have an interpretation of their favorite color. So things like that. I think it's interesting. Is it meaningful to them? No, it's like a softball question. Please don't spam the chat with your repeated questions that are not about the topic. So now I'm looking for questions about the topic. Hi, Doc. Good to see you here. Okay. How you know that you should open your heart to your views? Well, I would say it's free time zone. If you are here watching this live, there's something that you are meant to get from the conversation about friendships and alignment, or perhaps the natural laws. But if what I'm saying doesn't resonate with you, keep on moving. You're not going to offend me. One thing I've learned from doing these YouTube lives is that I care less about what other people think about me than I ever could have imagined. And people, a lot of parasitic energy is out there, so be aware. Just be aware of what you're engaging with. Doc, I think you have the ability to block people. These days, everybody is too judgmental. Whatever little time we share with each other, you know, you don't feel secure enough to talk to them. Maybe it's just part of growing old. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about being insecure. I don't feel secure enough to talk then. Maybe it's just not worth your energy. I mean, there is that. And does that have to be that you don't feel secure? I mean, can't you discern like people that you want to spend your energy on and people that you don't? Like for me, like there are some really dense people out there, very dense. Dense in their thoughts, they're rigid in their thinking, they have a lot of judgments, they will think bad things about you, and they may not say it, but you can pick up on it. Like, would you really want to invest in that? Most often, no. Does that mean that you're not secure? No, maybe. So Upcycled, what I'm offering to you is perhaps it's not about feeling secure, it's about investment of time. Okay. Upcycle to say, I feel like I can't be careful around most people that I don't know. I always have to be on my guard. Well, I would offer to you, if you're in your heart, you don't have to have your guard up. So if you are having your guard up, that means you're in your mind. That means that there's something there that you're having what would I say, a coping mechanism at the forefront instead of really being present in your heart, and then you don't have to have your guard up because your heart will indicate when you need to exit. You can block some people that are spamming. I usually have some people here that are mods, but that's okay. Today there's no mods, so you just have to bear with it. What is an opinion about keeping a good relationship? I think a good relationship is what's called a healthy relationship. What's a healthy relationship would be determined by your values and your desire to grow and expand. So I don't think that's a simple answer for that question, although it seems like it. I don't want to offend you, but I just thought it's simple thought to be open to your thoughts, but most people cannot do so. How do you know what the other person is thinking, Sailor's Life? Well, that's called a telepath, and a telepath is picking up on a resonance, and its thoughts are waveforms, so you would be picking up on the waveforms. That's how I do it. And for me, it's natural. It's not something that I work at. I actually have had to work on not picking up on people's thoughts because there are places that you go into and it's not very pleasant. And people don't think very nice things and you don't want to pick up on those things. So that's that. Civil engineering, we're talking about friendships and alignment today. So when I have clients, I'm picking up on their thoughts. Yeah, it is confusing, huh? Jamie M. is saying Psych 101 or a guarded, protected woman. Jamie, it sounds like a very judgmental thing. I don't even know what you're talking about, what you're trying to say. You want a thesis? A thesis? So you want me to give you what I got my master's in, my research? My research actually was on motivation. Turns out people aren't very motivated at all. But Jamie, what do you want to learn about? Because I'm not teaching about psychology. I'm talking about alignment, which is very different. Very, very different. Analyst is saying, why do you think many modern men are avoiding American women, choosing foreign wives? Maybe American women are too aggressive and masculine. Well, that's a sweeping judgment if I ever read one. I have not done an assessment of men, but I would say lots of people have been brainwashed and they don't even know that they're brainwashed. So they don't even know what they're doing. So I would say a lack of awareness would be an issue with not just American men, but all men and women. So I wouldn't make a sweeping judgment like that about American men, because I would have to go out there and do a poll on that, and I have zero interest in that. What is a quantum thought? Well, quantum is just a perception of an energy field. Vinny, have I heard about Candace? Are you talking about Candace Owens? I don't know what Candace you're talking about. Okay, I got all the questions. All right, y'all, it's almost at an hour. Today's topic was about friendships and alignment. I gave 3 what I consider warnings and 2 truths about friendships. I answered a few questions about some random things. I hope you found this helpful and supportive. If you're new here and you like this channel, my name is Kiana Sage and I guide people to peace. And I come on here every day to talk about the natural laws and a different topic in a different way that you can get aligned. If you're new and you want to actually, I put your notifications on and I will be on here again tomorrow with a different topic. It is hard to find with so many, sorry, Upcycle. You don't let the parasites distract you from the real truths. It's a part of the collective consciousness that we're witnessing in real time here. All right, y'all, have a great day. I appreciate you being here, Upcycled, and Eric, and oh yeah, we missed Eric today, and Mick. Thank you so much, Sailor's Wife. You guys have a great Sailor's Life, not wife. Sorry about that. Thank you so much. You have a great day. I'm Kiana Sage. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.